Joshua Church.
Hey everybody, so we are moving along on our 7 days of 007 James Bond retrospective and recommendations from me, Josh Church of River Monster Comics, on the Quick Bites Movie Dog Show. So the next one we're going to talk about is an underrated classic. I mean, this is a movie that I constantly recommend to people because a lot of times when people are watching through their Bond movies, a lot of times people skip this one. You know, they go, oh, this guy only had one movie. You know, George Lazabys, he only got one movie. He's not worth watching, right? Like, it's whatever. It was a tangent. They were trying to move on from Sean Connery and they didn't know what to do, so they gave it to this guy. But On Her Majesty's Secret Service is a gem of a movie and very much a Bond film. Like, I mean, the opening fight is this really kind of like zoomed out 60s Art Nouveau kind of, shot. And it's really, I thought, really cool. So it's Bond's first interaction with Blofeld and, trying to get to the heart of Spectre and trying to figure out who Blofeld is and, to get to his organization. And so he, goes up in the mountains and there's this weird retreat where Blofeld's up there with a bunch of ladies who are all supposed to be, God, I forget, scientists or something. And he's like trying to, manipulate them and mess with their heads and get information from them and stuff. It's a really kind of weird, sinister plot. But Blofeld is, I think it's Terry Savalas or something, but he plays him very cunning and chilling. He's less of the Donald Pleasance Blofeld, and it's not played like the bad guy in Inspector Gadget, where he's just touching the cat and going, Mwah! It's like less of that. It feels like he's really this charming guy who's the leader of this organization, and nobody would think it was him. And I appreciate that. And I thought George Lazabys played Bond with a kind of a sensitivity, where you could tell he's Bond and he does what he does, but he could also be soft when he needs to be, and underneath the exterior, and he could be tough when he needs to be. And I thought they really did a good job, I thought, of giving Bond a duality that I always feel like he has in the books and stuff and stories, because he's an agent. Of course, he can be a lot of different people. It's a tough thing to do, to try to step into Sean Connery's shoes. Sean Connery played him with a swagger, right? And so George Lazabys comes in and plays him like a secret agent. Plays him more close to the vest. And there's this really cool scene. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the mountains and him skiing after Blofeld and there's a luge board bit, it was like really kind of fun. Of course, Blofeld kind of gets away and whatever. But he kind of saves the operation, stops what Blofeld was doing, and gets more information on Spectre. And then he meets this woman, who was there, that he has spent, all his time with during the operation. He falls in love, and he's like, I'm going to marry her. I'm going to leave the force maybe, and I don't know. I think I'm done, And it's got one of the most gut punch endings to a Bond movie that I've ever seen. I give them props for doing it. And I wish more Bond movies would kind of take this, route, I guess, take this approach. It wasn't ever matched, I think, until we got back to the Daniel Craig era. But he's married and he's leaving with his wife, and Spectre kills his wife and tries to kill him. And he's just sitting there, and somebody comes and finds him, and he's just sitting in the car with his dead wife, and he has this really sweet monologue where he's just like a broken man after what happened. And then it just ends and goes, okay, till next time. And I really wish he had gotten a chance to play the aftermath Bond after his wife was killed and to play the revenge story. But instead, they bounced back to Sean Connery for a movie. And that, well, actually, I think it was Sean Connery got a movie made that was a follow-up. And so it was a whole thing. The Broccolis or whatever were upset, and it was a whole, like, him trying to do his own Bond and whatever. But that one, to me, Honor Majesty Secret Service is one of the best 60s Bonds and definitely worth watching if you like James Bond, and especially if you've never seen it. I hate, like, if you hadn't seen it, I wish you would just watch it before I said anything, because now you'll know like some of the bigger gut punches of the movie. But it's really, really good. It's really worth seeing. It's definitely high up on my recommendation list. It's always one that when I talk to somebody and they say they like Bond movies and they haven't seen older ones, I always go, "Ooh, you need to watch that one. That was good." So I give it a lot of props, and I wish he would have gotten more chances to be Bond. I think people just weren't ready for the whole Bond approach of, we're going to make a few movies, the actor's going to move on, we're going to do this Doctor Who thing. Except for he's not going to be the same guy. And that is not a theory, guys. Don't believe that crap. It's like Bond doesn't just, it's not a number that's adopted by a new man. No, he's James Bond. He's a guy. He's a literary character, for love of God. But yeah, so Honor Majesty Secret Service gets a high recommendation from me. Please check it out. And stay tuned to the Movie Dogs and Quick Bites for the next chapter of 7 Days of 007. And we will see you next time. Appreciate you guys. Hey, like and subscribe. Be sure to check out more of the content on the Movie Dogs channel. All the reviews and cool remarks and cool guests like me, Josh Church, the owner of River Monster Comics. We are in Dunnellon, Florida, so if you're ever in the area, come by and check out the shop. Get some cool nerd stuff, comics, pops, toys, whatever. And swing by and just have some cool conversations about movies and all things pop culture. We appreciate you. See you soon.